Good morning, good morning. Well, it's a big day. We're heading over to the ASIC mining property, and the power company, one of the engineers, is meeting me over there to chat about kind of our plans for expansion and this project. I have about 3 questions that are really looming that I'm concerned about, and if we get the approval on all of them, I think this is going to work out awesome, but we'll have to see. Let's head over to the property and we'll talk about it more. Today's video is sponsored by the team over at BT Miners. With the bull run in full swing, new crypto mining hardware is dropping every day, making right now the perfect time to purchase that ASIC miner that you've had your eyes on. I've been working with the team at BT Miners for several years now and can vouch for their customer service, fast shipping, and finally, competitive pricing. BT Miners always has stock in my favorite miners, like the Bitmain Antminer L9 and the S21 XP. And for home miners, the AlphaPex DG Home 1, the Volk Miner D1 Mini, and loads of Goldshell and Ice River miners. But guess what? BT Miners has a brand new ASIC repair facility in the United States to help customers struggling to find trusted, reliable repair centers stateside. Go check out BT Miners today via the link in the video description down below, as well as enjoy a discount code off your entire order with checkout code Hobbyist. All right, we are over at our ASIC mining property. Man, we got a crazy thunderstorm last night, but it dropped the temperatures down. It is in like the 70s. There's barely any humidity. Oh, I love it. I love it. I don't know if anyone else has been getting hammered on the East Coast recently with thunderstorms, but it's like every day. All right, let's talk about expansion and the 3 questions that hopefully we get some answers to today. All right, so here is our existing 12 by 8 ASIC mining shed. And what our plans are, Mr. Electrician, this is his property. He actually went ahead and sold off the hen house here, the chickens, the pheasants that he had here. He actually has someone coming, disassembling and taking this entire chicken coop. So gonna open up a ton of space here. So where our thoughts are is we want to add a second shed right here. It will not be as large as this unit right here. It's going to be maybe 3/4 of the width because we don't need, we have a workbench inside there and we have a bunch of storage and it's not really needed. So we're thinking of adding a shed about right here, and we need to figure out the distance because both exhausts for both sheds are going to point towards this kind of hot aisle area here, but I need to do some research to see how what's the distance. I've heard 6 feet is great for heat dissipation, but I want to look into that some more just to make sure that we don't have any heat soak problems or anything like that. That would put our intake then on this side of the shed going through and our door directly in the middle. Now, we don't necessarily have to go with this style of shed. This was the shed that was here and that Mr. Electrician donated to the project. We don't have to go with this same style, and I don't really plan to. I'm thinking, depending on cost, of doing a lean-to style shed like my home shed. I'll put a picture up real quick here of the other shed that we had built back at my house, only because of the fact that I feel it directs the airflow a little bit better, almost more of a wind tunnel design, having the low end be on the intake side and the exhaust end on the opposite hot aisle side. So jumping inside here real quick, I'll just show you where my head is at. So we don't need a workbench because we have one here for getting stuff done. We're not going to need storage like up top here. We're not going to need that. Up in the air, if I add another computer, we're actually doing some testing, Brains OS, on a new S21 I picked up. But I'm thinking I don't need a computer over there since we already have one here. So what does that mean? Well, that works out well because we really just need space for our intake. We need space for our 2 200-watt panels, network equipment that we would probably go ahead and run conduit from here to the other shed, and then our racks just like this. So I'm thinking maybe we might be able to get by with the shed that right here being an intake wall, and only needing a certain amount of space. But I also don't want to go too skinny either. So something definitely to think about some more as we get into things. So those three questions actually that we were kind of talking about at the top of the video, you know, the first question is, are they even going to let us, the power company, add a second commercial service to this residential property? So this is Mr. Electrician's house. He has his own 200 amp service here, residential service. We added a 400 amp commercial service, which is what we have on the back side here. I'll walk around and show you. And so I would imagine if they're coming out to meet with me today, that it's feasible versus just emailing me back on my work order and saying, no, we can't do it. But just want to cover my bases. Hey, it's okay to add another 400 amp service to this property. So that's question number one. The second question that I'm going to talk with them about today is, will that transformer up there support another 400 amps? If so, fantastic. If not, are they going to upgrade that transformer free of cost to me, or are they going to try to slam me with the cost for that additional transformer? And then the last question, so I'm working with a power supplier that got me the great 7.2 rate on my current 400 amp service. Two things there. I need to make sure the next meter that would be over on this shed will be on the same PPL power company account. So can I have 2 meters on the same PPL account? That's a big one, because the power supplier said if that's the case, they can go ahead and grandfather in this additional 400 amp meter into my 7.2 electric rate, which took me 12 months to earn. You know, very much in Pennsylvania with these suppliers, you really need to earn that electric rate. You can't be like, hey, I'm going to come in and use a full 400 amps, brand new service. They're going to go, talk to us in 12 months when you have 12 months of history. So that's going to be a big one. And the power supplier also told me that if I can get the new meter on the same account, that I can renegotiate my 7.2 rate to be even lower, because I'm going to be doubling the amount of demand. So the power company engineer should be here any minute, so I'll check back after our conversation.
Real talk. How many of us have more than one credit card and still miss out on points, perks, or cash back? Yeah, guilty right here. But that's where MaxRewards.com completely changes the game. Max Rewards isn't just a tracker. It's like your credit card's personal assistant. It tells you exactly which card to use for maximum rewards at every store you walk into. Starbucks, gas stations, online shopping, boom, maximized. You link your cards and the app syncs balances, tracks rewards, and shows hidden benefits most of us never even use, like extended warranties or travel credits, and even reminds you when your bonus categories change. No more leaving money on the table. If you're serious about getting the most from your cards, whether you're stacking points for a trip or just want that sweet cash back, Max Rewards makes it effortless. Try it free with sign-up code Hobbyist by following the link in the video description, or scan this QR code and start using your cards like a pro. This segment is sponsored by MaxRewards.com. Please do your own research and make smart financial decisions.
All right, so we just met with the power company engineer and we are golden. Oh, I'm so excited. All right, let me give you guys an update. I'm gonna swing around the camera here. Come on. There we go. Okay, so big things coming, boys, big things coming. So let's walk out here, talk about what's going to happen. Actually, we need to start over here. We need to start over at this guy. So PPL engineer, awesome guy. Shout out to John. So here's what we got going on. So chatting with him, you know, the first question was, hey, we want to add another 400 amp service. He said there may be some challenges doing it that way, but he actually gave us a whole new way to do this that we can get by with. So what we're going to be doing is adding another box here, and he called it a 2-gang unit. And what's going to happen is we don't even have to run a new conduit or anything. He's going to go ahead, and what's going to happen is, so many things. Man, stars align so beautifully. First thing, they are going to replace that pole. I guess he said it's like a category 4 or whatever. And as they go around and have to do work, they replace poles where they can, kind of storm readiness. So what they decided to do is they're going to replace this pole entirely on the power company. He, after discussing the amount of load we're using now, which he was really surprised about, that we were maxing out a 400 amp service, he is going to be upgrading the transformer from a 50 kVA, he said, to at least an 100 kVA, all on the power company, so we do not have to pay that. They're going to replace the pole. They're then he's going to give me the specs, and they're going to pay for and utilize my cable that's in there now, which is a 350/350/40. They're going to use that, and they're going to run a brand new cable down my existing conduit that's underground and come up over here. And then it's going to be handed off, and we are going to have 2 400 amp services in a dual gang setup here on this shed. And from there, it is then going to go ahead and it's going to be on us to find how we want to run it and just do a small conduit underground here and come up to our second shed. And that's what I need to do a little bit more research into, talk with my electrician about it on like, hey, do we need to put any cabinet on the outside, you know, in order for that to go into 2 200 amp services. But guys, that is huge, huge. I mean, we don't have to worry about the transformer. We can be on the same, it'll be 2 meters on the same account. And we don't have to run, the cable that we bought was $2,000 to run from here out to there, and they're just gonna use that as a fish. They're gonna take care of that for us, everything. That is absolutely insane. I still can't believe it. I'm like, oh my gosh, like every checkbox plus some has been checked off with the power company. So that answers all of the questions that we had and concerns that we had about, you know, everything. So, you know, this is going to speed things up dramatically now, because thinking about having to dig that conduit, put down, or dig the trench, put down the conduit. We had a quarry come in and put cinder in and fill it, and we had a backhoe and everything, and we don't need any of that. And they're going to take care of the pole. They're going to take care of the transformer. It's like, holy shit, like this is awesome. So, man, I'm going to count my blessings today. This worked out really, really well. So I'm excited. I got a lot to talk about with Mr. Electrician, his house here, as well as this is his trade to kind of chat about what this looks like. But yeah, that's really going to fast track things. That makes me look at, okay, now that we've checked all those boxes, we need another shed.